Oh, Bud. Oh, Bud. What a Friday. Welcome to Covers His Puck Props with 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo, who is glued to Scheffler Watch 24.
You know, today I felt like an investigative reporter doing my radio show because it was constant chaos with the news breaking of Scotty Scheffler being arrested and sent to jail this morning.
Wild.
And all the details that came about it, today was one of those fun days to be doing live radio. It really was.
It's the stories just came out like second degree assault on a police officer. You're like, wow, they really gave him everything they kind of could.
Well, they're trying to make him. I think they're trying to give themselves reason for doing what they did.
But and then clearly they had to escort him back. They had to escort him back to the thing. That was awkward.
This was a massive misunderstanding, if you ask me.
Oh, it's incredible. I don't know about you. I have spent a night in the old clink in the old jail, Guelph. Night at college night in Guelph.
I don't know if I actually want to ask what it is you did,
but it is the worst story. We were out, got some yum-yums. I don't know if you ever been to Guelph. You got to get yum-yums before you finish the night off. And the boys were still going, and old Jingles here had the old wobbly legs, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna walk back. I'm gonna call her a night. Walk back to Buddy's house, and I walked back to the house, and I couldn't get into the house. So I fell asleep. I fell asleep on the porch waiting for the boys to get home, and the police picked me up. They're like, "You live here?" I'm like, "Nope."
Wow,
they're nice. Like I got a stall all by myself down there in Guelph, and I woke up and I thought they forgot about me. So there's me down in the last stall, like just making noises. So I thought they forgot about me. I'm just going, "Hello."
Yeah.
I'm here. And then they let me go. I got paid $130 back in the day.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, jails.
Did you have to put the orange suit on?
No. Everybody was good. I was obviously talking too much.
How about the mugshots of Scheffler actually in an orange jail suit? Now, I don't know how much to believe that, if it's Photoshop. You talked about the police report about him.
Oh, yeah. What's his race? His race was white, European, North African, and Middle Eastern. Unless Scotty gave him that information, I don't know where that comes from. But we got hockey. It's been an absolute landmine out there. What happens one day does not happen the next day. If we're betting on anything, props have been volatile. One thing that is cautious, and we see it like in IHF and like the World Juniors, don't be swayed by one game. You know what I mean in saying that? Like one game here, maybe think about what your point of view was.
Did you use the word swayed on purpose?
He's been like, we're going to get to the sway man, but the guy has been a stud so far. 2 elimination games. The guy has a sub-1 goals against average. That's where we start off. Boston, team total under 2.5, -115. Going back to the well, we've been on this a couple times already. We hit it well in the Toronto series. They showed that they can hit this and win a hockey game, which isn't something that is usually existing. But this one's been hitting. We've had success with it. 4 straight games with 2 or fewer goals. Marchand still has boxes to check per Jim Montgomery. The power play is 1 for 18 over the team's last 8 games. So even with the man advantage, not that great. Boston, here's one for you. I know how much you love your metrics. Lowest expected goals for per 60 at 5-on-5 in the second round. Just meaning they're creating the fewest scoring chances per game at 5-on-5. So the power play stinks. We obviously know that on paper it's not the best and most offensive lineup, but that's where we are. And the other part is Swayman can keep this game from getting out of hand on the other side. So like 1-1, 0-0, 1-0, keeping it tight. How do you see this one going? Is it maybe not to use the best term? Is it tight butthole time right now for Florida? You know what I mean? Like if this one slips away, it's like. Yeah. Kind of like New York was feeling last night, but holy shit! Like, how did you want to talk about being bosses like the Rangers last night?
No, you're absolutely right about the Rangers. Hard to imagine that Carolina team
Woo!
gave up that type of lead in that third period.
What a
But
10
credit to
minute
the
three-crider.
Rangers. But you almost have to think that go back to last year when these two teams played each other in the first round. It was the complete opposite with the way the games were played out, right? Boston was up 3-1 and Florida came back. Florida's up 3-1.
Oh,
Boston wins game
oh,
5. Are they starting
oh.
that seed? Hey, and this is our turn to get you guys back. I don't want to read too much into that because I still believe Florida is going to win this series. I just think they're too deep of a team not to find a way to win. And last game, Boston won on a very controversial goalie interference call where 95% of the people out there, but I would say even 99% of the people out there were convinced that was goaltend interference. And it is what it is. It's the result. Maybe it was the NHL saying, look, we screwed up the last game. We're going to get you back this game. I don't know. But without Marchand, I just don't know how. And I really like the team total on this. I really do like the under team total. I don't know how Boston is going to find a way to score 2 or more goals in 2 other games and depend on Swayman to just shut down the Florida offense. So I kind of like where you're going on this one.
Yeah, expect it. I mean, we obviously watched the Leafs Boston series pretty closely. Expect another elimination game like this to be is exactly tight like that. Like we were doing like the no goals early, the unders, the team total unders, and I think that's where this series is going. I mean, Florida has enough depth that they can roll all 3 lines pretty much back to back to back. Barkov's been an absolute beast, one of the most underrated defensive players. Well, he's not really underrated defensive player. The guy's a freaking Selke genius, but in that spot, they have a lot of ways to shut you down, and Boston just doesn't have the numbers. And if Pasternak's, I don't know. I mean, I hit his under points the other day, and he got that 1 goal. Like he was plus 160 not to get a point, which I thought was a great price.
Of course.
Yeah, it is for a guy like that. So another tight game has to be tight game, and hopefully things don't fall apart later like we saw in the Carolina game. That was what 1-0 or 2-0 after 1, and then bing, 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 bing. Things happen quick. So let's hopefully that goes. Boston team total under 2.5, minus 115 in the books. No props in that game. Getting to the second game, Dallas, Colorado. Sitting there, if I was clipped, don't know if that Colorado offense can do anything without Val Nichushkin. Well, guess what? They can.
They did.
They did, and they did it again. Like in their perfect modus operandi fashion, they were down. I had them race to 3, and they hit 3 down 2-1.
Yeah.
Like this offense can score up or down. I think this offense is actually better playing from behind, if that makes any sense. They've been better offensively. But can Dallas hold the number 1 home offense team to 1 goal for a third straight game?
It's a tough thing to predict. I mean, logic would say no.
Yeah.
Right? But Dallas has been known. I mean, look at the offense that they shut down in Vegas. Right?
Yeah.
I think last game when they had that lead early in the second period, maybe they got too comfortable and they just allowed the top players in Colorado to get clicking again. And that's what I fear is all series they've held those guys in check. And I've been through this situation when I played for Detroit in 2013 or 2014. We were the underdog going against Chicago. We had them down 3-1 in the series, and their top dogs had nothing. We let them get on the score sheet. We let them, get revived in Game 5. They had a 5-1 win, and Game 6, their big boy stepped up. Game 7, their big boy stepped up. So, and we lost in Game 7 in overtime. So, if there's a game where you expect their offense to start clicking, probably after this one, considering they just had a game. And, I think Colorado would probably play with the same type of, loose feeling, knowing that, hey, the pressure's on them. We got our win in Dallas. We're at home. And I think I expect a better effort from Dallas too when it comes to, their offense. But Dallas did suffer a big loss on offense with Rupe Hintz not being available last game. What's his availability? And I think if we follow game script, Colorado gets up early here. Dallas can score. It might trend towards the over.
Over 6, minus 120. Good segue there. I do like it on both ways, and I'm happy you said that even if Colorado scores, that Dallas can play that catch-up game too. Both teams can. You mentioned Dallas being too comfortable with the leads. Game 1, blew it. Game 2, kind of blew it, but held on. And, 3 of the 5 games, they've held comfortable leads only to watch Colorado's offense just come back. And now they've shown and they have the confidence that they can do it without Val Nichushkin, McKinnon playing with Drouin and Arturi Lehkonen. He's not shooting a lot, but that's the thing. I'm not touching shot props. Dallas is too deep. They play with too many guys. The lines are mixed up. We don't know what Hintz is. Tyler Seguin was kind of banged up. He should be good to go, but there's a lot of things that are worrisome. But in saying that, probably going to have to go to Jamie Benn for a point in this spot. Wanted Pavelski. Think Ben's numbers a little better here. Hintz did miss the last game. If I had to project anything on it, probably more doubtful than probable. I would say, a wrist injury looks pretty bad. And they ruled him out really early in game 5. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, let's give him the skate. So there's an issue there. Maybe they're like, okay, let's at least hopefully we don't have game 7. We can rest him up. But Ben was playing with Wyatt Johnson and Logan Stankoven, which was the top line that saw the most time on ice last game and was the only 5-on-5 line that was plus. And Alex Georgiev, no one's saying anything about him. We're talking about guys like Stuart Skinner and Artur Slobs, but Georgiev has an .880 save percentage in this series. He hasn't done his team any service, and that's a big part of why I think that this over and this Dallas team can flirt with 2.5, 3 goals.
True. That's true.
In this spot. So if this game finished 4-3, 5-3, if both teams scored 3, would I be surprised in Colorado? Not really.
No.
I would be more surprised if this was a 2-1 finish, right?
Yeah.
Boston, Florida. Expect a tight checking early game, much like we saw in the Toronto series. These guys don't like each other, and that really feeds into how aggressive it is. And you saw with the 2-1 finish, right? Like, guys aren't burying empty nets. That's fine too. How is Mikko Rantanen point prop at 1.5? He's not playing with McKinnon. He's been so quiet, and that's why I'm off the Colorado props, because Colorado at home is still being priced as this number 1 home offense, which doesn't give any value to anything. But
they haven't showed it in this series yet, right? So
100%. But I tried to fade Nathan McKinnon the other night. Andy was on it. That was his play. McKinnon under 1.5 points, plus 160 was looking good until the final minute.
Oh,
sorry, not plus 160. Sorry, even money. Sorry, I was thinking of.
I was gonna say, wow.
Yeah, no, the 1.5 for even money, but like on the road, you could probably get a better price here. But yeah, all these odds coming via Sports Interaction. But let's throw those in. Tight checking game. Don't be afraid to hit the early no goal first 10 minutes, something like that. Boston team total under 2.5 is what we're putting in the account here from Sports Interaction. And then the other game, we're going Jamie Benn for a point, minus 115, still on PP1. And then goals in both sides, because as Carlo mentioned, and I mentioned, that both teams are comfortable playing in big deficits, right? 2-0. That's okay. It can be 2-2 quick in the series, and not a lot of those other games can say that. So let's do that. But let's leave that. Get back to Scotty Watch. Like, can you imagine, like, if the guy's somewhere near the leaderboard?
Oh, buddy.
On Sunday, like
if there's a time where I'm actually going to cheer hard for Scotty Scheffler, it's this time here, because if he comes out and pulls a -4 or -5 today after what this guy had to endure early this morning, getting arrested and being in jail, like, you might as well fold up shop if you're anybody in the leaderboard, because you got no chance. No chance.
Like, if you're a golfer, like, would you just want to, like, okay, don't have a lot of time for swings, don't have a lot of time for warm-up. Fuck it, just go right to the tee and just see how it goes. No?
Yeah. Dude, I played yesterday. It's my first time playing yesterday in like 10 days.
Yeah.
and I had no warm up, no nothing. I was just excited to be out. Didn't
Yeah.
practice, didn't putt. Normally before I play, I chip and I putt just to get my hands in the field down. Nothing. I went out there, shot 76. Because I was just like, just hit the ball. Just hit the ball. And every time I was hitting the ball, it was like doing what I wanted it to do. And that's golf, man. Golf, when there's so much, you have too much overthinking, it could affect your game. And Scotty's a guy that can do it.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that probably hit the Scotty matchup props, like fading Scotty in his matchups, whoever his matchup prices were against. And right now he's going up there. He's probably on what they say is first, where he's getting to the tee, like somewhere in the 10 o'clock hour, right?
He just teed off now.
Oh, gee. All right. Yeah, I'd be sweating right now if I went all in against Scotty, right?
Yeah.
All right. 100%. Let's leave it at that. Producer Mick, appreciate it. Before You Bet, I believe, is on today too. Big Joe. So more bets, lots of stuff. But that's hockey. That's baseball. We got that in. And enjoy Friday, bud. Let's go. Friday. Who doesn't love a nice Friday? The weather's nice. So appreciate everybody there in the chat. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo. This is NHL Puck Prop presented by Sports Interaction. We'll see you back here Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Lead us out, bud.
Hey, happy long weekend. Have a good one. Have a safe one.
Bud.
Ciao.